So recently I got sued, and if it wasn't for TikTok, I would not have gotten out of it. So the guy who I follow and who I got like all my legal advice from, I'm not sure if he's an attorney or not, is Wesley Wells. And so if it wasn't for him, I'll be right here probably like getting my paycheck deducted or whatever. So the end of October, I got sued by LVNV Funding LLC, and they were going after me for like $817 and some change for like an old credit card that I supposedly had or whatever, right? So when I first seen the guy who was like trying to serve me, I was avoiding him at all costs. And then I did like some research on TikTok, and I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and get served. So I willfully went ahead, called him, and got served. It was a sad day for me. I'm not gonna lie. Now, the guy who I follow, Wesley Wells, he was like, asked for arbitration, asked for like the bill of sale, asked for the chain of custody, and it was a couple more you're supposed to ask for, right? Okay, so this is what I end up filing with the courts. And so as the guy explained it to me, is that when you go for a motion to compel arbitration, is that it costs so much money that the collection agencies, they're not going to want to do that. So therefore, they'll most likely drop your claim. Now, each contract when it comes to credit cards, they usually have a clause for arbitration. And so mine stated that if I couldn't get a waiver, then the other party would be responsible paying for the whole fee of arbitration. I like that. So that means that it was going to cost them more money. And them getting $817 compared to the thousands that they have to spend, they're less likely to continue to have this lawsuit. Another thing that he said to do was like ask for the original purchase agreement, the chain of assignment, the bill of sale, and the validation of the debt. Most times that they don't have these things, and so to ask for that. So I asked for arbitration, and I also asked for these things in the court. I also, when I filed this, I included the arbitration clause from my credit card company. I just Googled it because obviously I don't have those documents anymore, but most of these credit card companies, they're online. You can just Google whatever their agreements are and you just attach it, and I filed it. At which point I got a court date for January 2nd at 9:30. In response to my motion, they filed a motion to appear by telephone. I'm sorry, we're not doing that. Because if you can file for me to go and I have to pay $71, you can get your ass in court, okay? We're not doing that at all. So of course, I filed a counter motion to their motion. Now, I filed the motion stating that I didn't want it to be by telephone because I do have problems with my service network, so Verizon, count your days, and my call fails all the time. So I was like, no, we can appear in court, and I was requesting that it be denied. Because again, we can appear in court. If you have time to file a motion towards me and you are suing me, you have time to be in court. So what ends up happening next is that they send me a letter for me to sign saying that they want to dismiss the case with prejudice, meaning that they'll never come after me whatsoever in the future and that we'll pay our own attorney costs and fees. Of course, I signed it because why not? And then ultimately it has been signed by the judge and we no longer have a court case and I am no longer being sued. Now, I share this information because hopefully it can get to the right person and it can help them, especially like if you're already dealing with bills, with inflation and everything going on right now. It's just bad right now for everybody. So therefore, if these collection agencies are buying this debt for the pennies and then pursuing you for it, and majority of the time they're asking for more than that. The person that asked for the LVNV funding, they weren't just asking for the $817. They was asking for additional fees for like court fees, and they were asking for attorney fees and all this other stuff. So it would have been way more money than what I supposedly owed because they couldn't even prove that I owed it. So, and it's not my job to prove that I owe that debt. It's their job to prove that I owe it. But yeah, it worked for me, so hopefully it can work for someone else. And if that is in your clause, like I said, you just look at whatever your debt is. Majority of these companies, they have arbitration clause, and sometimes like they'll pay for it. So therefore, just look and see what that is.